WVTC Radio Detroit. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, our website, www.wvtcradio.com, or download our WVTC app from the Play Store for Android users and the App Store for iPhone users.
The views and opinions expressed on this broadcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WVTC Radio Detroit, its advertisers, or affiliates.
It's time. It's time. It's time for the wake-up call, y'all. Come on. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
it's time for the wake-up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield and friends. Each and every Saturday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on the WVTC Detroit Radio Network.
Yep.
Let's go.
It's time. He's on the line. This is knowledge and power for every mankind. For every generation that's in these streets. We making sure you ain't walking in your sleep. We're in your town, your city, and community. Promoting good health, wealth, and unity. We educating everybody, y'all. Reverend Horace Sheffield, the wake-up call. It's for y'all. It's for y'all. Reverend Horace Sheffield, the wake-up call. It's for y'all. It's for y'all. Reverend Horace Sheffield.
And now, Reverend Horace Sheffield.
Tony, you took me down. I don't want to be down. I want to be up. I want to hear myself. There you go. Thank you. Breathe. Keep me right there. Welcome, David.
Good morning, sir. How are you today?
This is a work in process.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As you know, we were on another station. People here in the audience may not know this, but that station, 910, has bitten the dust. There's no more shows on there. Do you know that, David?
No, sir.
Everybody that was on 910 is off. He's. Can you get me? Oh, okay. My caller's here? Yeah. I'll get it in a second. So everybody who was on 910 is off, and now it's a conservative talk radio station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they got a memo last night at 10 o'clock at night. Buy.
Wow.
And so everybody's calling me, and can they buy some of my time? Because, by the way, next Saturday we're going to a new format as well. Not format, we're going to be a WLQV 50,000 watt station, 1500 AM and 92.7 FM. We want to make sure people can hear us. And we're really excited about that. We're going to have some great giveaways for you, some things to do. Is Shayla there?
Yes, she is.
Shayla, can you hear me? Good morning. How are you? Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I guess you can hear me. I can hear you, but can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you now.
All right, turn her down a little bit, would you please? That's a little loud. All right, well, Shayla, we made some transitions. We've been doing a lot of stuff in Fast and Furiously. We're getting. Hello? Are you there?
I'm here.
You gotta turn it down or something, man. A little square, David.
Good morning, everybody. Everybody doing good?
Can't hear you.
Everybody do me a favor. That's it. Everybody take your hands. I want y'all to put your hands on the river. Put your hands on the river like this. Put your hands. Say, bless him, Lord.
I'm already blessed. You know, God is good
All the time. So yeah, we are in the process of transitioning, and we are the wake-up call. We rebranded. We see our billboards over the city in 3 or 4 different locations. And so by way of announcement, or actually acknowledgement,
let's deal with Shayla. She's on the line.
We start at 8:05. We got a couple more minutes.
Okay, we got 1 minute. But I want to make sure we can hear. Shayla, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
All right, good. So this past Wednesday, we had Brittany Packard Cunningham, who coined the phrase Black Lives Matter from Ferguson, Missouri. And for all of you who missed our community empowerment speaker series for that day, missed a treat. She was phenomenal, impactful. We had a robust conversation about what we should be doing socially, what we should be doing politically, how we should galvanize our effort, have a synergistic approach for what it is that we're trying to do. And that we noticed, actually learned that they had the actual longest protest.
Over 400 days.
Over 400
which was longer than the Birmingham, the Montgomery, bus boycott.
Right.
It's actually the largest protest in American history.
And so this was actually an effort that was not an exercise of futility. And this is information that a lot of folks don't want to know. So we know that it takes discipline, it takes stick-to-itiveness and things like that. But we had a wonderful, wonderful conversation with her, and looking forward to having her come back. And by way of announcement for our community empowerment speaker series coming up in September 27th, we have Dr. Cordell West, who is a friend of Davo, a close friend of Reverend Sheffield. He'll be here, and he'll be talking about some things that are going on in our community. And
You talk about this kid. You talk about the Dr. King died in vain.
Did he die in vain? That's the question.
Right.
We also know that
Dr. King died in vain.
he is running for president. Is that correct?
I don't know. That has nothing to do with what we're doing. I'm not going to discuss that. We're a nonprofit organization.
All right. And he
Let's go to Shayla. We'll get some more stuff to Shayla. So Shayla's here. So doing 805.
All right,
Welcome to Shayla. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing good. How are you this morning?
Turn her down a little bit. Thank you. So the Shayla handles all of our social media, all of our advertising, everything you see, and we expanded our platform. You'll be seeing us on Channel 20, the Bounce, and all kinds of things advertising our events. But today you're going to talk about how to create a social media strategy that works for you. How do you do that?
Yeah, definitely. So the first step in creating a social media strategy for your business is you want to identify your target audience. So you always have to keep your audience in mind whenever you're creating content or whenever you're doing anything for your business. So who are they is the first step. The second step after you figure out who you're trying to target is what platform is that audience on. So you don't want to be on TikTok and you're trying to reach an older crowd. Or you don't want to be on LinkedIn, which is primarily a professional network, and you're trying to reach teenagers, right? It doesn't make sense.
So you mean you actually have to do some research before you actually engage in social media to make sure that you're having the impact that you want to impact. You just don't start a Facebook page or start an Instagram page or do LinkedIn without doing your research.
Absolutely, and that is like so crucial because people do it based on the platforms that they like. So personally, if I like Facebook, then I'm going to create a Facebook page. Or personally, if I like Instagram the best and I can manage it the best, then I'm going to create an Instagram page. But it does not work that way. It's not about you and your preference. It's really about your target audience and who they're trying to reach.
So are there any, I know you're offering us the strategies and how we create effective social media strategy. Are there any rules or any laws or anything that we should be aware of to make sure that we're able to maximize our efforts?
No rules or laws that I can think of, yeah.
All right, well, just go ahead and continue to give us your professional.
Well, I want to ask a question because, you know, we live in an era where people are all on social media, they put everything in the world out there. I think it's good to talk about the downsides of social media because while it can promote things and give you a presence, it can also come back to bite you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, they, rule of thumb is use common sense, right? Which may not be so common, but definitely don't want to share everything, you know, because people, it's open and it's public for anybody and everyone to see. So a future employer can see what you're posting. The feds can see what you're posting. I'm sure you guys just saw recently, how ACS picked up someone for posting a gun on Instagram. You know, and it happens all the time. You know, you think people will learn, but, you know, it keeps happening, right? So just be mindful of what you're posting, because not just your intended audience, but anyone can see it. Just their public platform.
Can you speak about sustainability on social media? In terms of updating your content, making sure that your content is fresh and relevant to the particular audience that you're trying to reach?
Yes, so that's actually one of the steps is planning the content. So you want to make sure that it's informative, you know, to your audience. You want to make sure that it's appealing. You can use, images, videos, infographics. You can use captions. Just to make sure that you stay consistent on all of your platforms. So don't post, 3 times today and then no one hears from you for 2 weeks. And then you pick back up posting again. You want to be consistent with posting.
Right. And so I'm sure if you have an informational type scenario where you're reporting news, you want to make sure that news is current and as accurate as it can possibly be. What about access to resources to strengthen your social media presence?
Yeah, so at Coast Communications, we have a Instagram masterclass that we offer specifically for Instagram. If you are interested in any of the other platforms, we can help you on those too. But specifically, we target Instagram, and it's on our website at coastcommunications.com/IG-masterclass. It's a web address to sign up for that.
Give us that information again, please, Shayla.
Yep, it's coastcommunications.com/IG-masterclass.
All right, we're talking to Shayla Coates of Coast Communications, who does all of our communications and social media here at Davo. She's doing a wonderful job. We've been a partner of ours for over 5 years now.
And by the way, while we have her on the phone, you can tell her that the phone number has changed. We didn't find it out till we got here today to Shayla. So
Okay.
the new number is 340-9507. 313-340-9507. Of course, I got it the day after the new billboards went up with the old number on it. But you need to change all of that.
Okay.
I already texted the billboard people.
So again, as we were talking about keeping up,
So she needs to put it on all the assets we have, new number.
As we were talking,
Yeah, I will do that.
Thank you.
as we were talking about keeping our social media platforms current, there we have a live example of what it is that we need to do. So again, we're talking with Shayla Coates of Coast Communications on how to create a social media strategy that works for you. So works for you means that it has to be specific to what it is that you're trying to do. A lot of times we go out and we try to copy or model ourselves about what somebody else is doing. It might be another city, you might be in another country. Speak to the fact that you need to find something that's relevant and effective in your own community and put your own spin on it so you can be unique in this approach. I mean, in some cases, you might say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But how would you speak to that particular scenario?
Yeah, for sure. So definitely in social media, you definitely want to see and monitor what your competitors are doing. If you're a bakery, what are other bakeries doing on social media? And not just a bakery that has, 100 followers. What are some of the national bakeries, doing that have, 100,000 followers, and they have, lots of views on their real content. You definitely want to follow them and see what they're doing. However, you are not going to copy them. You can put your own twist, on it. So you definitely want to be authentic to you, but still, be mindful of what other people are doing and what the trends are, what's trending.
See, I know for a fact, come on in, sister, I know for a fact that social media works because we use it. Leverett, where you taking that? Put it right back where it was. Okay, fine. Because we get information from folks all the time here. Phone calls, text messages, emails, etc. From folks who got information about what we're doing. Like our speaker series, for example, we were buying advertising, but we found out that, and it's really based on the speaker, right, to Shayla, that we didn't have to do all that, just posting stuff. Now, what I want to talk about is how important it is when you have connections with folks in your organization that everybody posts that stuff, which gives it a broader platform, right?
Yes, for sure, absolutely. So the more people that share posts, the more people you're going to reach.
All right, so what's the most effective way? And by the way, I see this lady, our lady over here, Just Black. We were on Channel 4, this past week with our senior program, and they have a lady from another center, David, senior center, and guess what T-shirt she had on? She had a Just Black T-shirt, and she wasn't from out. She wasn't here. If you saw that story, Juanita, the place where the other center where they were at, the lady they interviewed her, she had on a Just Black T-shirt. And I was so glad because I love that T-shirt. People don't understand that shirt, but that shirt is something we need to market because, you know, we're just Black.
Why don't you tell us a little bit of significance about the Just Black?
I mean,
Folks that don't know where it comes from, what's its origin?
I mean, you know, at the end of the day, we live in a society. You could be a neurosurgeon. You could be like Charles Drew, invented plasma, needed blood, couldn't get it. Certain people only see you certain ways. At the end of the day, you may be successful, rich, but to them, you just Black.
And that's something that you came up with. That
So
shirt.
I'm just Black. I'm gonna be Black.
So that shirt, maybe.
Something I came up with.
There we go. That's what I was trying to get to. So again, we were talking about marketing is what I was going to ask you. And I thought about some questions that you might ask as it relates to making sure that you strengthen your marketing strategy on social media. And actually, what actually is social media marketing, the benefits of social media marketing, and then making sure you have the right resources in order to market properly and effectively on social media.
Yeah, so that actually kind of leads into the next step for developing a strategy that works for you, which is setting your goals, your social media goals. So you need to determine what you want your goals to be. Basically, and not everyone, not every business, and not every person, but typically the goal is for sales. So if your goal is to increase sales, you know, how are you going to measure it? Is your goal to increase followers? Is your goal to go viral? Is your goal to be consistent with posting, you know, X amount of times per week? What exactly is your goal? So that's something that needs to be defined. And then once you determine that goal, there are other avenues of social media marketing. For example, advertising. You can run ads to help you reach that goal faster.
Yeah, so some of us have social media presence and do pretty good posting stuff on us by ourselves. As you know, I've gone to a different level. I have Stephanie Bennett, who's here, and some other, that keep me up, don't turn me down, who does all that for me. But even if you have the ability to do some of this stuff for yourself, talk about the importance of having a third party or someone that's a professional like you do.
Yeah, for sure. So, what I say is, you know, whatever your specialty is, whatever your business is, just focus on that, you know, and not be the jack of all trades or master of none, right? So focus on your business and make sure your business is prospering and growing, and have someone else focus on the source of that social media, you know, or marketing or helping to promote your business.
David? That man, speaking of social media, he has 2 phones posted up in front of him, and you know, he may be going live.
Well, you know, it's interesting because I am looking on social media to make sure I'm asking intelligent questions. But anyway,
So I don't know if you're gonna get intelligent questions from social media, stuff they're concerned about. By the way, I want to give a big hand out to one of my mentors, Brother Charlie Williams of Black Power Broker par excellence. It was part of the Coleman Young administration, ran things for years. Good brother, he's always helping other folks. That's how you know you got something, is when you give stuff away. Hello, somebody.
that's right.
The more you do for others, the less you have to worry about yourself. You know, we got so many self-centered folks. They love Jesus, but can't stand nobody else. So busy going to heaven, they tell everybody else go to hell. Hello. You know, have you ever realized that people who want to put you in hell know more about hell than you do? I ain't gonna talk to me today. That's why they want you to go, because they know how it is. Man, who you pointing the finger at? You see this man sitting next to you, see how I'm pointing the finger at you, I'm talking about hell? Right, you better be glad we don't have a mental health experts around here today, because they might put you in the big. By the way, see, Hey, Charlie, he ain't old enough to remember Eloise. I get some gas money, man. Call some folks up to take you out to Eloise. I get $25.
So again, pulling it back to the topic at hand, I'm talking to a communications expert, subject matter expert about how to create social media strategy. And this may be a little bit off topic, but can you give us a little bit of advice on how to ensure that our young people, if they're starting businesses, if they're trying to have a social media presence, some steps that they should take in order to make sure that they're doing it the right way to protect themselves, not being taken advantage of?
I'm sorry, you said protecting themselves?
Yes.
Yeah, so definitely, there are so many scams and, things out there. So you definitely have to be, aware and, aware of what, going on, right? Of one thing, with social media, it's so crazy because it magnifies things that are already going on and it gives scammers like quick access to you or easy access to you. So you definitely want to be, aware and cognizant of, scammers, and have this general safety. For example, my mom, she has a cake business that she started, and so she's been getting sales through Instagram. And, you have to weed people out because he doesn't have an actual physical location. So you're meeting these people for different takes. And it's like, okay, does this person give you, weird vibes? Maybe you should meet up with them. So definitely, social media is great, but you have to be smart as well when you do it.
So Shayla handles all of our communication. She's a board member of ours, and we've been doing business for quite a while. All of the stuff that you see that is out there visible, about our concerts, our commercials, you name it. Shayla manages it, and we're grateful to have her. How do people reach you at Coach Communications?
Yeah, so people can reach me at 866-418-7070, or they can email me to Shayla, TESHAYLA at communications.com.
All right.
Is the phone off real quick? 313-340-9507.
Come on, let's get to Shayla a hand. Give her a hand. All right. Thank you, Shayla. Have a good day.
All right, so just very quickly, thank you, dear. And so we're transitioning, and I mean I pay for the time so I can advertise it now. Next week we'll be on 1500 AM, 50,000 watts, much stronger station, and of course 92.7 AM and FM at the same time. Also, they're turning this into a podcast, which you'll be able to get, and just really grateful for the promotion and stuff that they want to do. I mentioned to it before you guys, some of you got here today that if you listen to 910, you won't be able to listen no more because it's off. Everybody who was on that station is now gone and gone to a conservative talk radio station. So everybody's scurrying. I think we'll be Southern time over here, Charlie. 5 minutes. 5 minutes at a while. $500 for 5 minutes worth of time. How about that? I'll split it with you. All right, we got breakfast biscuits, big salmon, croquettes. We got some wonderful gifts we're going to give away in a moment when we have these young ladies. We're going to talk about the perfect gift. Tomorrow, Beverly, is our homecoming service. We've got Pastor Charles Risers from Chicago, Illinois, all the way over here preaching for us. And we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a meal afterwards, great fellowship. Also, in a moment, we're talking about the skilled trades program, where you have an opportunity to get an actual certification in welding and CDL, commercial driver's license for truck drivers, all of that absolutely free. I don't see the flyers for our showers, but every Monday, go ahead, tell them about that. I'm really excited about that
project every Monday.
Now hold your hands down until you take a shower on Monday. Go ahead.
We did August 14th, 14th to 21st to 28th, and that's from 8:30 to 10 a.m. As Bishop mentioned, you cannot shower for an hour and a half. But those are the times that
there are multiple showers in one
available
day.
for you. We don't want to be just sitting. That'll be at the Bridge Center down the street. That's 9928 Grand River Avenue. That's 9928 Grand River Avenue. And if you have any questions, you give us a call here at 313-491-0003. That's 313-491-0003. This is called the Wave Project.
Yeah, it's a portable group of showers, and it's marketed, and I'm sure Stephanie's taking care of this. We're all set for Monday.
Yes.
So they market it for homeless people, but from the surveys we've done for people in this community, Charlie, we have about 15% of our neighbors that have no water in their homes. And so this is an opportunity for people to come at least once a week, get a free shower. We're working with them on for the clothes as well, right, Stephanie?
Guests will receive socks, underwear, and t-shirts after the show.
Yeah, but we're gonna expand that so that some people can, if they're really homeless, they can shed what they've been sleeping in and wearing for weeks or whatever. We give them something new. So, and then every first Saturday here, we're doing our fresh fruit, produce, and vegetables distribution. We purchase that from La Grasso down in the market. We spend our money in Detroit. If there was a group of black farmers, we'd be buying it from them. But you know, those cucumbers, who got any of that this past? Those cucumbers were unbelievable, man. I took a whole bag of them home. Tomatoes, apples, oranges, and we pay for that. We're glad to do it because we're trying to get you to eat healthy. I was struggling with my A1C, which I normally don't do because I'm always on your case about that, right?
Yes, sir.
So, you know, what it was I got into this thing of drinking sweet tea because I got off of drinking cherry Pepsi.
Right.
So I went from cherry Pepsi to sweet tea. And I was drinking like a gallon of sweet tea a day, man. So I got off all of that now. I'm back on just water. And not only did my A1C go down, man, but I lost like 6-7 pounds to stop drinking that tea.
How you feel?
I feel good. I tell you, I'm the best looking 68-year-old man in the city of Detroit. How about that? Ain't that right? There you go. Hey, I'm fine. I got a strong mind. You know, my back don't bend. I don't scratch when it don't itch.
We don't
Stand up, black man. I see your dad. Yeah, I see your dad. In fact, he look younger than you. What you mean by age? That's his dad. By the way, we going down. We hooked up. We going to the New Orleans Saints game. Lois Brown is hooking us up.
a regular trip or a different trip?
No, I'm going in the first Sunday of December. The Lions play there.
Oh.
And you know, he was inducted in the High School Football Hall of Fame with me down in Canton. And I said, man, I go down there all the time. So he's gonna hook up something special for us. We'll be on the field. I don't have a certain number of tickets, so only special. I don't know if you got two. Yeah, that's right. You ain't going. I can tell you that right now. I don't take no deacon of mine on no trip with me. Be all over the church. I went to Olives with Pastor Sheffield. You know, he was down in the what they call that place? I don't know. You know where they do all that, the hoodoo, all that.
The French Quarter.
Down in the French Quarter, you know, wearing beads.
We gotta go to Dini's though.
If anybody ever been to Dini's, if you ever go to New Orleans, you gotta go to Dini's. They have shrimp this big, but those roasted potatoes.
Oh yeah.
With the spice, with the Cajun spice on them.
Yeah.
They give you as an appetizer, set it on your table. Oh my God.
Great experience.
Yeah.
All right.
So by the way, Q English is in town today, who is the director of faith-based office for the President of the United States, Assistant Secretary of HHS, who's been here, has poured into us, provided some funding for us. She's doing a piece over at Greater Emmanuel today. Isha's participating in that. It's with women, and Dave was a part of sponsorship that. We're just glad that she came. We got notice yesterday from Robert Wood Johnson Foundation that we're supposed to be ready for a call on August 24th. So I hope that means we got that. And we're finalists in Jeff Bezos' wife's yield open call $1 million grant. We're one of the finalists in that. Somebody said, let's cook. Let's get it happening. We got to take a break. All right, that's what that means. Take a break. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to Constance Spell.
It's the wake-up call.
It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, in the wake-up call.
It's the wake-up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. We'll be right back on WVTC Radio Detroit.
Hi, I'm Stacy Reeves, General Supervisor for DTE. As part of our plan to make your power more reliable, we're installing new smart technology. When it's up and running, our smart grid will have fewer and shorter power interruptions. Our crews are out every day doing everything in their power to deliver the reliability you deserve. DTE.
The soulful summer continues at the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater. Live in concert Friday, August 25th. And what we have Jeffrey Osborne. With special guest Stephanie Mills. Tickets on sale now. Available at thearetha.com. Also, the Aretha box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by The Right Productions.
At the Detroit Water and Sewerage Department, we're working hard to protect pipes by cleaning public sewer lines to reduce flooding and speeding up the replacement of lead service lines. Protect your pipes with 3 easy tips. Pour grease into containers, toss wipes in the trash can, and check for running toilets, leaky pipes, and dripping faucets. For more tips, go to detroitmi.gov/protect pipes. DWSD, working hard to protect pipes for you.
Peace and quiet. Whoever you are, sooner or later, you're going to need some. If only there was a beautiful place just minutes from where you live, where you'll find a perfect little piece of peace and quiet. Turns out there is. Your Huron-Clinton Metro Parks. With 25,000 acres, there's plenty of peace and quiet to go around. They're your Metro Parks. Come see what all the noise is about. Learn more at metroparks.com.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabree. We are living through unprecedented times. As a result, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund was created. This fund, administered by the state of Michigan, is designed to help homeowners cope with pandemic-related hardships, such as delinquent property taxes. Residents may apply for up to $25,000 to help cover 2019, 2020, and 2021 tax years. Previous year's taxes must be paid in full or in a payment agreement with the Treasurer's Office. Eligible homeowners must have a qualified financial hardship that occurred on or after January 21st, 2020. You must currently own and occupy your home as your primary residence and must have owned it since January 21st, 2020. To see if you qualify, please visit waynemetro.org, call 313-388-9799, or email taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.
Are you ready to unlock an exciting career in the skilled trades or pursue your dream of entrepreneurship? The Detroit Association of Black Organizations is proud to introduce a free skilled trades training program with job placement. Whether you're interested in welding, HVAC, mechatronics technology, construction trades, CDL, or entrepreneurship, we're ready to equip you with the tools and knowledge you need to succeed. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Call 313-491-0003 to learn more. That's 313-491-0003.
From the cotton fields of Mississippi to the highest halls of education around the United States of America, Junebug is a story of inspiration that proves that hard work and perseverance is the answer to anyone's dreams and aspirations to make them come true. Go to MississippiJunebug.net and order your copy today. Junebug, the novel by Wilson Edward Reed.
It's for y'all. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, in the wake-up call.
We can help one another. We get talked about another. Is that right? Absolutely right. And if you love somebody, then you love them whether they're right or wrong. I mean, you make up for what their shortcomings are. So anyway, one of the things, and I've been through this a few times. My dad passed I was fortunate enough with my dad, who, by the way, died in 1995. And he showed me everything he had, where it was, what he was doing with it. And he also set up stock in this television and radio empire that he helped start, that he had set it up in such a way that it went to me and my sisters, but as each one of us passed, it would then go to his grandchildren. I mean, he just had his stuff in order. He got contested always to the Michigan Supreme Court, everything he had in place. But I found out, though, there's a lot of folks as a pastor who don't have their business in order. And the worst part about it, Constance, and we have Constance Bell, she's got My Perfect Will. We're going to donate, I purchased 10 of these, and we're going to raffle 3 of them away today, is that people fall out before the funeral even happens. People will come over and go to mama's house to come fellowship and mourn together. And while you mourning, they ravage in the drawers. So y'all help me here. But to put it into all of that and to put all your stuff in order and almost like publish it and put it in a place where everything is My Perfect Will. Tell us all about it.
Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to the Wake Up Call. Reverend Sheffield, you are indeed a pillar in the community, providing all sorts of resources, information, so that people's minds can be transformed, but you gotta show up. My name again is Constance Bell, and I am the president of Life Instructions LLC. I am your life and legacy coach. I'm an insurance broker, and I'm the author of Longing to Be on the Other Side of the Storm and creator of My Purpose Real Legacy Guide.
All right, and by the way, we are going to be raffling 3 of these off today. It's about $150 value, and I've got some more. She's gonna come back. We're gonna actually do a workshop during that show about what you need to know. David?
So it's ironic that we have this conversation. I have a friend whose grandmother passed away, and the home was left to her, and that exact thing happened. They went to the house to check on the loved one who was managing the house, where people were taking jewels and taking things, and they didn't have their affairs in order, and they had to go to probate. Can you talk a little bit about why it's important to have it to prevent that, or that process being streamlined if you have your affairs in order?
Right, well, to give you some information about My Purpose Real Guide, it is actually a planner. It has your important documents, including your power of attorney documents for your health and for your wealth. It also contains information about your family, your education, your bank accounts, your final wishes. Do you want to be cremated? Do you already have a plot? What about your favorite recipe? Family tree, everything in one location that allows you to leave a legacy. And unfortunately, in the community that we live in, we're losing. Over 67% of Americans do not have either a will or information to pass on to your family. And it doesn't take long. As you were saying, we know, I can name 2 things that recently happened. One, COVID-19. And what happened during that time. I'm sure there are some unclaimed insurance policies, because who knows that you have insurance policies unless you actually communicate it to your loved ones.
Yeah.
And one thing about I'm gonna say I'm older, but people have secrets and they don't want to tell people what's going on, but we need to communicate the information to our family. And I can say one more word, Aretha Franklin.
Yeah, written all that money and property wealth, and she's got hand scratched notes. So let me I've been through this because my father died, my sister just passed, and bless my sister's memory, knew nothing about her business. In fact, everything she said she was going to do, she had changed. And by the grace of God and the help of the Holy Spirit, I went down to her house because I had flown her here. She died here. And Charlie, sitting in her den in her seat, I mean, literally like she directed me to where all her papers were. And I was able to find over a 3-day period, and her papers were in 5 or 6 different places in the house, and literally found absolutely everything. Her land, I mean, she owns all this land on it, but she had made changes. She got sick, she had made changes with everything. And she just didn't get to one thing. But I bring all that up to say this, is that I think that, when your loved ones die, you ought to have some harmony and peace. that your memory ought not to provoke conflict and contention. You know, people ought not be fighting over stuff. Because one thing I found out too, because I'm a pastor, I pastor black folks, is everybody got some story that mama told them this was mine. And that don't hold up in court, do it?
No, it doesn't.
If it ain't on paper. And then the other thing is, wills are important, but there are also other ways to protect your assets pre-death, right? So that people don't have to go through probate.
Absolutely. Again, what my perfect will does, it supplements your will and trust. But it's everything in one location. You just mentioned it took you 3 days. Well, imagine it take you just a minute because everything in one location. And I would like to say, Reverend Sheffield, the last time that I was here, it was over 10 years ago. Since then, I actually had a life-threatening experience. And so I was able to utilize what this God-given gift that He's given me. It's an assignment. It works because I'm still here.
Yeah.
In 2015, I started experiencing different symptoms, strange symptoms. I had heart palpitations, headaches, weight loss. I no longer could reason. I started watching Love and Hip Hop and 8 Mile over and over again instead of T.D. Jakes and Joyce Meyer. And my family knew that something was going on with me, but they didn't know, and I would always have a justification. Maybe I'm not drinking enough water. Maybe I'm not getting enough sleep. And one time I took my granddaughter, we were at the gas station, and she was pumping the gas and had the nozzle in the gas tank, and I just pulled off. And she started screaming like, Grandma Connie, you know, and so there were so many things that were happening to me. I had a job, and I had to file some papers. I retired from the city of Detroit as an executive manager. But I could no longer, I didn't even know how to file. I had to out loud start saying my ABCs so that I could file some documents. And it was just challenging. I would be sitting at church and I would be so sleepy that I would feel like I was gonna pass out. So I had all these different symptoms over a matter of time. And finally, I heard my heartbeat in my ear. And it was so loud that I would have to either turn up my television or turn up the radio, but one thing that I hadn't hidden in my heart was the word of God. And so I was able to stand on that. And then when I went to my doctor, because she was trying to figure it out too, it was a mystery. I'd gone to the dermatologist, I had gone to so many different doctors, started experiencing a lot of hair loss. But when she heard me, when I told her I could hear my heartbeat in my ear, is when she said, you need an MRI.
Yeah.
And Reverend Sheffield, I took that MRI form and read it and said something about contrast. I'm like, I don't need that. And I put it in the drawer.
Yeah. Let me do this because we got a caller. We only have a couple minutes. We appreciate that testimony. And all that is to say you don't know when you're leaving here. So you need to get your stuff in order before you do. And my caveat is that way you keep confusion down among folks that love you, who will still love one another after you're gone. Welcome to the show, Greg. Greg, are you there?
Should be there.
I don't hear Greg. But we're not worried about it. How do people reach you? We're going to be pulling for these. We got 7 more that I'll be giving away over the next month or so. We'll have you back. But tell people what's in here and how do they reach you?
You can reach me, phone number 248-200-7095, or visit my website, www.mypurposewheel.com. And in here, as I was saying, there's so many things that actually help you to create the legacy. Your favorite family traditions, your passwords, information about were you in a sorority or fraternity, what high school did you go to, what are you a veteran, what about your pet information, your grandchildren, your parents' information, everything about yourself that you could think of in one location. And I would like to say that I'm here. Sometimes people think, okay, if I complete this, I'm gonna die. Newsflash, we're all gonna die. And I'm here because my family was able to use it as a resource to carry on my affairs until I was better.
Yes, so death is inevitable, but we can certainly be more responsible. That's what I'm saying. All my stuff is together. You know, after I went through with my sister, I actually got my lawyer. I mean, I got names. I mean, deeds. I mean, that people don't even understand your property deeds. I mean, all that stuff needs to be updated. And if you have a trust or whatever, you can will it to the trust, or you know, you can put their names on it. You put your kids' names on your bank account in trust for you. You don't want to put them on there so they have access now. All right, we got Ed. Ed, welcome to the show. We're gonna take a break. Ed, there now, what?
Yeah, I'm here now. What's going on, Horace?
Where you at down in South Carolina? Where you at?
I'm in South Carolina now. I was in Atlanta trying to, help. Well, I wasn't trying to help tend to my aunt who is in dire straits. She's doing a lot better now.
Good. Well, Ed is our co-host. Mr. Ed. Ed, you won't know it when you get back, but we got to take a break right about now. We're going to pull some of these numbers for these perfect will gifts, and we'll be right back after this. No break? All right. No break? It said break on here, though, 8:45. Okay. Well, come on, Carolyn. Let's pull. You stay here. Carolyn, stay there. No, there you go. Come on around here. You don't have to bend over. You're not tall enough to. All right. So your last three numbers, 257. Okay, come get your gift. And make sure you see Miss Constance Bell so she can help you understand this. All right, and don't put it on the shelf. And by the way, put me in there somewhere as a beneficiary. 260. Okay, come get yours. All right, give her one more, and then the last one is Carolyn. Say something, Carolyn. Good morning. We gotta get her up now. The last one there, keep Kevin. 247. 243. That's you? Look good. You deserve one. You work hard over here. She was on TV this week. Carolyn, say something.
Good morning.
We still don't have
We
her.
all work. Good morning.
We still don't have Carolyn, huh?
Hello. Good morning. I am talking.
Yeah, there's nothing coming out of it.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
All right. Well, let's. Do we have another mic for her? Hold on. Keep talking. He said, hold still.
Well, good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing this morning?
That's a little better.
Wonderful. That is better. Thank you very much.
All right. So Carolyn is running a program here for us. She don't need the tickets. We don't need the tickets. I don't need the tickets. But you put one in there, you mean? No, I don't need the ticket. You told me that was your number. Now don't go play that 3-digit either. Pastor called 3 digits today. So we've got this great vocational program and a lot of stuff going on. Let's start with St. Augustine's University, historically Black HBCU, now located in our new center. We'll be offering courses in a Master's of Public Health in October. Tell us all about that.
Good morning, everyone. And thank you for being here. How many of you didn't know that we had an HBCU coming to Detroit, sponsored by Dave O? We have a collaboration with St. Augustine's University in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was established in 1862. It's over 150 years old HBCU.
Yeah, I would do like you did. I'd be safe on the math.
Yes, it was established in 1867. And we have a partnership with that where Davo is offering opportunities for our Detroit residents, for our community, for our students to be a HBCU student. For those who don't know what HBCU is, it means historically Black colleges or universities. And so we have a bachelor's program in health. We also have a master's of business administration, and we have a master's of public administration, and we have a master's of public health that residents can sign up and register for. If you go to Dabo's website, www.dabodetroit.com, and you can register to become a student. This is online. You don't have to go to North Carolina to be an HBCU student. All you have to do is log on to the web.
It'll be a hybrid actually, because we'll have some instruction here, but with all this happening in health and the state of Michigan now beginning to reimburse the community health workers, you want to get that degree. In fact, I'm going to take that Master's of Public Administration. It's a great program. We'll also be doing bachelor's and master's of public administration, and there's some scholarship monies available, so you need to find out more about that. I am now a distinguished professor at St. Augustine's University in North Carolina. We're teaching religion, and some of the courses will be hybrid as well. Some taught from here, some taught on campus. But the main thing is that this great vocational program we have, it gives many people an opportunity without a college degree to get certifications in areas that really pay well.
Well, we all know how much tuition costs to go to college these days. So how about a tuition-free program, skills trade program? So if you know anyone 21 years of age and older, they are welcome to participate in this program. It's a collaboration with Wayne County Community College District. They will become college students. We have welding technology, commercial driver's license if you want to learn how to drive a truck. That's a 6 to 8 week program. They learn it, they get the license, they get the testing, and they get on the road. HVAC, if you know someone who wants to know how to do heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Mechatronics, that's the technology behind that.
Yeah, you know, what is it? I saw that term and I didn't look it up. So pronounce it again, first of all.
Mechatronics.
Okay.
Mechatronics.
Okay.
Mechanics and electronics.
Oh, okay, that's what it is.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
So that's no longer working on distributor caps in cars. It's now working on electronic distribution of
It's
power.
the technology behind it. So if you know someone who is technologically inclined and want to really get into that field, it's very lucrative. It's new, but it's very, very engaging, and students really learn how to merge those two fields.
And the good news is everyone that we recruit, the tuition is free.
Yes.
We're providing additional employability skills. We're working with MRS if there's some things that are barriers to training and education. And while this program begins at age 21, we also have additional occupational programs if you're 18 to 21.
Yes.
And the number to call is 313-491-0003. Go ahead, Kevin.
There's also construction trades, which include carpentry, cement masonry, ironwork. So if you know someone who wants to get into the construction trades, these are skilled trade programs that don't require you to have a college degree. These programs are beginning soon. Some of them in August, some of them have rolling admissions. So if you know someone who's interested, please contact us so we can get them involved, get them enrolled, so they can begin working in these programs right now.
And then 2 enrollment days or registration days on site, which are those?
The registration days, well, some of the courses begin August.
Well, I mean, in terms of coming here to enroll.
Oh, okay. You can come here today, on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 10 and 1. And you can pre-register in person, but we will take your information. That information will go directly to Wayne County Community College District, and they will be contacting you and registering you for those courses.
And let me say this, and Charlie Williams knows this because he deals with a large employer. Even though marijuana is legal in the state of Michigan, it's still something that can prohibit you from getting a job if you test positive. So we do have a prevention program here. You know, people can be addicted to marijuana, right? If you're 50 years old and you're smoking weed all day long and tell a mama to go get you some buttercream beans or whatever, you probably got an issue. Go ahead, Don.
So I just want to follow with Dr. Carter with regard to the skilled trades. I was talking to a friend of mine. He was saying that it's really, really hard to find people, especially African American men. People want to work with their hands. A lot of folks don't realize how lucrative these careers are in terms of getting a union. And we have a lot of construction that's going on within the city, outside the city, but we want to make sure that we put our best foot forward and make sure they're prepared. And I think that that's what this program offers.
Yes, specifically for the construction trades program, you can have a high school diploma or a GED. We have Wayne County residents, including the city of Detroit, you have to be 21 for that program. A valid driver's license is required, and you must be able to pass a drug test.
Yeah. And let me also say to you that we've had adult education centers at Dabo, East Side, West Side. English is a secondary language. So if you don't have your GED, we can test you and get some help for you to get your GED. We don't want you to have any excuse. It's really funny, Charlie. I keep talking to Charlie because I've seen some grandmothers almost bring some of these young boys over here by the ear, because they laying around in the house driving grandma's car and got no job. And if you're listening to me, tell them to get up, get out, and get
Absolutely. And that's what I do as a recruiter for the sheriff's office. That's what I do. I go to senior citizens places, and we do senior citizen safety forums. And I'm recruiting. They said, well, why are you recruiting at the senior citizens facility? I said, because when that niece, that son, that daughter comes to ask you for $100, give them one of these flyers.
Because they live on grandmama's couch.
Right, let me hold something.
Yeah.
And we do have some creative people. They're also an entrepreneurship training program. It's a 6-week entrepreneurship training program. There is opportunities for grants for your startup business. So that's also one of the programs that we are offering.
And job placement when you're done with this.
Yes.
The college is guaranteeing some placement of jobs. Let me spend another moment with Constance Bell. Constance, give your best sales pitch, why people should purchase this product and where they can get it from.
Because you want to stop the bickering, because you want to stop allowing the probate court to decide for you. Because many of us are believers, and Proverbs 13:22 tells us to leave our children's children an inheritance. You want to switch around what's going on now and stop starting in the deficit because someone has to pay for your final arrangements and you want to prepare in advance. You can contact me again at 248-200-7095 or visit www.myperfectwill.com. We want to grow up and be like Reverend Sheffield, whose dad left him a legacy. And my question to you is, are you prepared? Do you love your family enough to take out time to leave a legacy?
So, and then we want to leave more than what we were given. But I just got to tell you, I'm going to have to invite you to my religious broadcast. You sound more like a preacher. You sound like a preacher. I got it 8:57. We got to take a break. Thank you for bringing about Charlie Williams, the indomitable and incomparable Charlie Williams. And Carolyn, thank you so much. Be right back after this.
It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, in the wake-up call.
It's the wake-up call with Reverend Horace Sheffield. We'll be right back on WVTC Radio Detroit.
The soulful summer continues at the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater. Live in concert Friday, August 25th. And what we have Jeffrey Osborne. With special guest Stephanie Mills. Tickets on sale now. Available at thearetha.com. Also, the Aretha box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by The Right Productions.
What are you doing this week? This weekend? All year long? If you're not sure, take yourself someplace where there's more to do every day. Your Huron-Clinton Metro Parks, where you'll find glorious nature and classes, crafting, concerts, competitions, and that's just the C's. With hundreds of events all year long, you'll never run out of things to do. They're your Metro Parks. See more, do more, and learn more at metroparks.com/events.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabree. We are living through unprecedented times. As a result, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund was created. This fund, administered by the state of Michigan, is designed to help homeowners cope with pandemic-related hardships, such as delinquent property taxes. Residents may apply for up to $25,000 to help cover 2019, 2020, and 2021 tax years. Previous year's taxes must be paid in full or in a payment agreement with the Treasurer's Office. Eligible homeowners must have a qualified financial hardship that occurred on or after January 21st, 2020. You must currently own and occupy your home as your primary residence and must have owned it since January 21st, 2020. To see if you qualify, please visit waynemetro.org, call 313-388-9799, or email taxinfo@waynecounty.com.
Are you ready to unlock an exciting career in the skilled trades or pursue your dream of entrepreneurship? The Detroit Association of Black Organizations is proud to introduce a free skilled trades training program with job placement. Whether you're interested in welding, HVAC, mechatronics technology, construction trades, CDL, or entrepreneurship, we're ready to equip you with the tools and knowledge you need to succeed. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Call 313-491-0003 to learn more. That's 313-491-0003.
At the Detroit Water and Sewerage Department, we're working hard to protect pipes by cleaning public sewer lines to reduce flooding and speeding up the replacement of lead service lines. Protect your pipes with 3 easy tips. Pour grease into containers, toss wipes in the trash can, and check for running toilets, leaky pipes, and dripping faucets. For more tips, go to detroitmi.gov/protect pipes. DWSD, working hard to protect pipes for you.
From the cotton fields of Mississippi to the highest halls of education around the United States of America, Junebug is a story of inspiration that proves that hard work and perseverance is the answer to anyone's dreams and aspirations to make them come true. Go to MississippiJunebug.net and order your copy today. Junebug, the novel by Wilson Edward Reed.
It's for y'all. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield in the wake-up call.
Let's give a shout out for my caterer, Kelly. She does a great job. And want to remind you that tomorrow is our homecoming service right across the street for, I did say homecoming, I didn't say homegoing, did I? Homecoming service. Pastor Rogers from Chicago will be preaching, Bebra's brother. And service will be at 10:30. You know, we don't stay there long. We're normally done by 11:30, 12. And we'll come over here and get something to eat. Don't forget, if you're going to turn me a little bit, I'll live with it. Don't forget that every first Saturday, we do our food and fruit distribution. And that's produce, fresh fruit, vegetables, absolutely free. Every first Saturday is a part of a wake-up call. Also, beginning next week, 1500 AM, 92.7 FM will be where we'll be located now. Much more coverage. Don't forget our skilled trades program. What's on your mind? The Lions, it was a preseason game, wasn't about much, but they pulled it out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They are no longer the lie downs. They are trying to.
Where you get that from? the lie down. Now the lie up.
The lie up. So yes, I thought you might have been at the game yesterday, but you watched it first.
No, I gave Ron Lockett, the president, my ticket.
And he is gracious with his presence.
And I was wondering whether or not he used the tickets, but he did text me and let me know he was at the game. And I don't know, man. I'm still not on the bandwagon yet.
Oh, you on the bandwagon? You vested?
Yeah, 313-340-9507. 313-340-9507 is our number. Don't forget again that we have showers every Monday from 8:30. You tell us about that.
Yeah, every Monday, starting Monday the 14th, 21st, 28th, we are partnered with the Wave Project, and we're serving individuals who are experiencing homelessness. And as Bishop mentioned earlier, we found that there are still people, about 15% of the folks in our area that don't have water.
Hold on, we still got Ed. Come on back on the phone, Ed.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, great. That's my co-host. You gonna stay on the line and co-host from there?
Well, yeah, I can do
Okay, there you go. He missed us so much. He's been trying to figure out how to get back on this show since he's been down south.
You're not joking. I miss our people.
There you go. We miss you
I
too.
really appreciate that we have a listening audience and it's growing.
There you go. Well, we're glad to have you. Ed is my high school idol. Ward number 71. He was the Mean Joe Green in the tunnel. I was a little boy looking for the towel and the Pepsi.
And what school was that?
Cass Tech. Cass Technical High School.
Hey, you know that better than we know.
Yeah, I know it well. And I want you to know too, and I don't know why, and we got to figure this out, why they don't support these schools better. I've had to donate money every year to the football team for uniforms and stuff like that. I'm giving them $5,000 in about 2 weeks. And I said to myself, I'll probably give them $20,000 in cash, right? I'm going to ask why with all this ARPA money and all that money they've been spending on stuff, they don't have money to support these teams better than they do.
But you know,
huh?
You have to be careful with cash donations to the public school because what they'll do is put it like a general fund and disperse.
No, I don't do it that way. I write my checks directly to a support group, the Triangle Society that supports the athletic programs and they buy it. I've been through that. I donated a $20,000 camera, like 2, 4, and 7 users, and it completely disappeared. Completely disappeared. And I will never do that.
Ron, is that the camera that was at my house that you?
That what now?
That's a camera.
And all his cameras are hit. You go to his house, you better be careful because he got. He came in the other day and somebody sitting in the front room smiling. He said, "Negro, you been in my refrigerator."
You guys full of jokes.
So how's your family doing down there? You went to visit somebody who wasn't well, right?
My aunt, she'll be 94, and she was in some dire straits, having some complications. Yeah. And, it was more so for moral support than anything. And we, as people, we need to support our families more. We need to check in on our seniors and make sure they're all right. Don't wait till somebody's gone and talk about how much you miss them. Visit them and talk to them now.
Yeah, I was right. I see Ed will jump in his car. He'll be gone, man, in a minute.
Yeah, Ed's a truck driver. Ed, hit that road and, drive by himself and, no problem. I'm getting ready to drive. I rented a small van-sized Winnebago. Have you seen them?
Yes, sir.
With the kitchens and beds. And you can put 6 people in there, I think. So I'm preaching in New York the first weekend in November, and I decided I would drive that because I got some folks that want to go. But
you gonna drive yourself?
I'm a road dog. Man, you ain't never on the road with me. I leave here. I would drive to my sister's place about 10 hours in Georgia. I drive straight through to New York. I mean,
New York, that ain't no
Birmingham, Alabama. I jump in that vehicle. I'm gone, man.
That's terrifying.
What's terrifying?
You driving straight.
No, let me tell you what's terrifying. When I go down to my sister's place, you go through these mountains in North Carolina. And you're literally going round and round and round. And then I used to do that at night. I can't do that at night no more. Yeah. The Smokies. I mean, it'd be all kind of stuff.
I enjoy driving. I go see my daughter.
But while we on the subject, my sister turned me on to this. Have you ever heard of Lake Lanier down in Georgia?
Yeah, it's a man-made lake.
Right, and guess what's underneath the lake? A black village. Really? Homes you can still see. They flooded it out. It was a black town with businesses and everything else. 30 feet deep, clear water. You can see the homes at the bottom of the water.
Wow.
So they either build freeways or they flood.
Watch out about it.
Come on, y'all talk to me up here.
We got one more option, Horace.
What's that?
They'll deem the land unlivable, say it's contaminated. Move everybody out and then say, oh, we made a mistake and put the decimal point in the wrong place. And then it's not on land.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you something else while we're on the subject. We keep this really quiet, but the level of contamination in Detroit, maybe I'm gonna put Charlie Williams on the spot, but the levels of lead in our water are unbelievable. In addition to that, my grandmother used to garden, and we eat that stuff. I wouldn't eat nothing that was grown in Detroit because of the toxicity in the ground. I mean, there's been all these factories and industrial places, and they've already proven that a lot of that stuff is spilled all through the ground.
Well, look at Uterol.
Yeah.
I mean,
but ain't nobody growing stuff on Uterol. But you go off of Epworth and Warren, where you had Lear and you had Sherwin-Williams and all those places, which is not just true there. Go near where Bud was. Right. And people are growing gardens, and you should have that stuff tested.
Yeah,
if all of a sudden you got a grill and you didn't put one in.
So Ed, you have some experience with growing. You usually get your own soil though, don't you? You don't use the soil that's there, right? What you doing?
Okay, but you, I'm saying, but you.
Wait a minute. I ain't never confessed to being a farmer.
I knew you were going to I was serious going to catch that because I know you were a carnivore.
I thought you was on his way. And before I forget, by the way, with our speaker series, we got Cornell West coming. We've got Erica Alexander coming. We got Keith Ellison. We got Jamal Bryant coming. We've got Sharpton book. We've got Michael Dyson book. But what we're going to do now, David, is, since we have the comedy club downtown,
yes, sir,
we're going to have after parties after these events and go down there. We'll bring our speakers down and have some further fellowship. So, but our next speaker is Wednesday, September 27th. I just heard from Dr. I just heard from Cornell, Dr. West this morning. And we're working with Wayne County Community College District so we can take our speakers down so the students can have that experience during the day and then come back for our events in the evening. These are really, really great events.
I heard we got somebody coming in June too, a homeboy.
Yeah, we got Donnie Simpson coming in June. In fact, I got to get with Charlie. Charlie, you got to help me raise some money for this. Donnie Simpson's in June. But what I'm really excited about, Dr. Fatima Cody Stanford, who's been on 60 Minutes, who's discovered that genetic link to obesity. She's discovered the fat gene. She's been on 60 Minutes. She's at Harvard. She's a professor of medicine there. And she's a bad sister. And I don't know if you can follow that because there's some people whose metabolism is different, that people don't even eat a lot and put on weight. So it's not just what they want you to be. You just ain't made up your mind. I made up my mind, but my mind didn't make up its mind about me eating. Hello, somebody.
Yeah. They made that reference to farming, but our listening audience need to participate in our guest speakers program because we are helping to cultivate minds.
Yeah, and Brittany Packman Cunningham is with BET. And so we had a discussion with her because she was so impressed with what we do about trying to get BET maybe to rebroadcast. Come on, Ms. Howes, we're ready for you. Rebroadcast of what we're doing or even coverage. So, it's a great series. We got great speakers coming. We've been blessed to raise the funds to do this. Nobody can come around the other side. Nobody comes for free. And I know how that is. I tell people I don't preach to get paid, but I do get paid for my preaching. All right. Hello, somebody.
Hey, I hear you.
I don't be a good boyfriend. Going to 1500 WLQV AM 90.7. Broadcast on both of those great signals, 50,000 watts. And I mentioned to you, I don't know if you know, Lisa, that everybody that was on 910 is gone. He flipped the switch last night, turned it to a white conservative broadcast. We knew that was going to happen. God is so good because I got out before I got put out. And everybody calling me last night about what happened. I tell you what, I'm selling 5 minutes at a time for $100 on my podcast. What's going on, sister? Talking to you.
Awesome. How are you?
Yeah, speak right in that mic. These are not unilateral mics. Yeah, okay, so you went from hand me one of those books, Chris. Oh, you got it. Okay, I've seen the book Candy Girl, man. That's why you carry it, because you saw Candy Girl, man. Candy Girl.
Write it down, man. Write it down.
Yeah. What's the Candy Girl? We're talking to Lisa Howes, and she's been in politics. She's running for office. She's been in the management of the city, the echelons of government, and now she's putting pen to pad. And what is Candy Girl mentality?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Candy Girl mentality, the meaning behind that title, centers around the time when I was in high school. I took a $13 investment in M&M candies after being exposed to Junior Achievement. How many of you are familiar with Junior Achievement?
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody in this room almost, right? And that inspired me to start selling candy at high school, and I turned that $13 into more than $4,000 by the time I graduated, which helped me to pay for my first semester at the University of Michigan. So when you think about that, I was a high school student, a teenager, exercising strong money management skills that frankly have carried me throughout my entire adult life. So now I'm in a position to not only share that information with you, but youth. That's my passion. Helping them to gain these skill sets at the age that they are so that they can change their financial lives, their families, and the communities that they serve.
So you're gonna help me write a companion to yours called The Money Man. I'm gonna tell you, you know how it is when you're younger and people try to get you to do certain things and you think it's bad. But I was working, man. My first bike that I bought at 10 years of age, I had to cut grass and shovel snow. My dad gave me half on the bike once I got half myself. But I had all kind of jobs. I was a janitor for the UAW. They had an office on Webb and Woodward. When I was 14 years old, my granddaddy would drive me over there, Charlie. I would mop the floors, empty the trash. And by the way, because my dad was connected to the UAW, I knew if I didn't do a good job, he was going to get called. Hey. But I mean, I was getting $260 a week, man, to go twice a week. And so,
I just want to say, this is my dad's out there. He used to take me to the church, and we used to mop the floors at the church. It's scrub with your hands and all that stuff. But Murphy's oil soap and all that. I'm still waiting for my pay, Daddy.
Well, today though, I only bring it up, and I want you to get more into your book. I've been that way with my kids. For example, I mean, I'm proud of all of my children. My daughter's doing exceptionally well. But I made them earn. My daddy made me earn my allowance.
Yep.
And the other thing I said not be done is he also was egalitarian in the sense that anything that my sisters had to do, I had to do. If they had to wash dishes, I had to wash dishes. And he told me there were no male and female chores in his house. You know what I'm saying? If you work, you get paid. If you don't work, you don't eat. But that's what I think about money man mentality, is that if you develop your work and your gifts and your skills, people will pay you for it. Is that kind of what you talk about here?
Absolutely. When you think about money, people usually only know how to do one thing with it, maybe two. They know how to earn it and they know how to spend it, right? I call it the money two-step. You earn to burn. Now I want to teach people how to earn and learn how to make their money work for them instead of them just working for their money. And so over the past couple of months this summer, I've had the opportunity to engage with the city's summer youth employment program called Grow Detroit's Young Talent. There are about 5,000 young people who go through that program, but I had a chance to reach 600 of them with free copies of my book, along with a message. Now, how is that possible? It came from the support of generous donors who've seen what I've been doing. They say, Lisa, we love what you're doing. How can we help? So they've either donated a dozen, some donated 4 dozen. I have organizations that have donated 150 books toward that effort. And so my passion is making sure our community has a chance to thrive, to be successful, build wealth, right? It's our birthright to do that. We were not brought here destined to be poor or to live in poverty. But did you know that 11 million children living in America are poor?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's 1 out of 7 kids. Think about that. 1 out of 7 kids make up almost 1/3 of all people living in poverty in our country. And many of them come from communities that look like ours. Here's the thing, childhood poverty follows adult poverty. So if we're gonna break the cycle, it's not just Lisa out here on the front line doing it, it's a community. So when you guys invest in Candy Girl mentality, what do? You free me up to be able to go into the high schools, to go into these community service programs and provide this information to our young people, because that's where the wealth gap stops.
All right, so let me ask you, for going further, how much is the book?
So the books are $30.
$30.
Yep. And
how many books we got on the table? 9?
I brought a case of.
Oh, let me do what I do. I go down. Because I always invest when folks come. That this makes 10, right? So those 10 are purchased. We'll give you a check before you go. But that don't mean you don't buy one. I don't want you to supplant our money with your money with ours. But somebody first 10 come grab one of them books.
You gotta read the book, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta read the book.
Yes.
Pull out another.
Will you autograph it?
Okay, hold on a second. Slow down. Hold on. You can't walk in front of my camera. I'm on live.
Sure, autograph at the end.
At the end. Okay, listen. Put 10 more books on the table because Ed just said y'all running around. Ed just said he buying 10. So that's another 10. So she walking out of here, Candy Girl walking out here with $600. That's more than a lollipop. Candy Girl, I wish you would pull that music up. Candy Girl, Stephanie,
I got you, Dad.
Okay, well they're gonna sell those. Well, only 10 more. Is that 10? Huh? 7? Okay. She got 3 more, she said. Yeah, take these 3. Thank you. That's 30. I mean, that's 20 books. Right there. She's gonna sign them all when we're done. Did you get a book, young man? Get us this man with the red hair book right here. Just one in your one in.
So when I get the books, is how.
Your Beverly book. We're gonna do it after the show, Doc. Just hold on. Yeah. You're gonna be trying to get some candy.
I was gonna ask a question about.
Hold on now, wait a minute. You've been trying to get some candy from my candy store. Well, you won't mind it worth nothing.
Sustainability of the plan, and it sounds like we were giving some steps towards sustaining that effort by going into the schools and sharing information. A lot of times we have like a one-hitter quitter thing, but that's change of mentality to have something that's systemic throughout, either education or throughout the process. Is there a plan there or a suggestion that you might have about sustaining this process?
Well, there's, for me, I have a complete program called the Career Life Readiness Program. So it focuses on entrepreneurship, financial empowerment, communication skills, life skills, as well as career awareness, right? And so you go from how do you earn the money, right? What are your options for using that money? You can earn it, you can give some away, because I'm a tither and have been since I graduated college.
Right? You're a tither?
I am a tither.
Well, okay, so you tithe on gross or net?
Gross.
There you go. Now that's my kind of tithe. That's my kind of tithe.
I thought there was only one way to tithe.
First of all, since we're on this subject, and I won't get into the Hebrew and all that, but I've been with the people that I'm with now 13 years here. I had 15 years. So I've had people been in my ministry for almost 30 years. And the first thing I taught them was the principle of first fruits. And that is, in the Old Testament, the notion was if you got a harvest, you give God his first. And then he rebukes the devourer. So, we do that. We do that here. I teach that. And it's been so empowering. I got people who just can't believe, the flow. But if you honor God with the first fruits,
yes, sir.
He is up front.
Come on, preacher.
Then he rebukes the devourer, and then the prosperity comes double fold, and and
press down, shaking the gut.
And some stuff we'll keep to ourselves, but I'm not a 10% tithe. I'm beyond that. And every increment of increase, he's also increased what he's put into the storehouse. I'm glad to hear that.
I have a question for the guests.
Do you? Wait a second. I don't think I caught on you yet. Are you about to tell me you a tither too? No, go ahead.
I have a question for the guests, and does she offer courses in teaching money management and whatnot? And if so, are they online and in person? And how could someone get in contact with her and that information?
So as it relates to teaching courses, I have developed tools that support what the information that I share in my book. And as a matter of fact, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm looking for at least 10 people who want to have a mastermind session with me, right? So we get online, we do a webinar, walk you through some of the steps that are included in evaluating where you are financially. If you're seeking to advance your career, we analyze that part of your life as well. But the best way to get in touch with me is through social media and through my website. My website is I am able to follow and see how I can help.
Okay, we're talking with Lisa Howes, the author, speaker, and CPA. Book is called Candy Girl Mentality. And you know, as bad as I don't want to talk about how you matriculated, what high school you went to.
She's a Detroit girl, man.
I know she's Detroit. I got it.
Born and bred.
I got it. Why don't you just tell us about where you went to school and the fact that you are from Detroit?
Yeah. So Cass Technical High School.
I already know.
Class of 72.
Excellent. You know, so
He just angry because he went to Moore School for Boys. How many of y'all remember the Moore School for Boys?
Wow, man.
It's all good. But here's the thing that I want you to know.
Wisconsin said I'm going to have to take care of you at some point, so don't be careful.
Here's the thing that I want everyone to know. Like, this isn't about just me selling the book. It's so much bigger than that. When you ask who is Lisa Howes, it's the best way to know me is to know what I believe, right? So the first fundamental belief I have is that everything happens for a reason. Me being here today on this show and in this audience is not by accident. Number two, that there's no such thing as a lack of money. It's just a lack of creativity and imagination. Right. Number three is, if you want to be great in life, you must attach yourself to a cause that's greater than you. Yeah. So the mission that supports this book, you know, to be able to reach 1% of the U.S. high school student population, whether they're at Cass or Mumford or King for that matter, it doesn't matter. The goal is to provide these skill sets to them so that they can change their lives. The other thing, the reason why I say I'm not just selling a book is because I'm selling solutions. If you have a problem where you feel stuck in your career, I'll tell you to turn to chapter 8 and chapter 14. If you want to run for political office, it's a big politics year coming up, right? With the U.S. Senate race open, the state house.
Get ready for the mayor's race.
Oh, that's not for a couple.
Get ready for the mayor's race.
You can start as early as you like. I started in 2012, but my point is in chapters 10 through 13, I share my political journey. How what looked like a loss when I ran for city council in 2009 actually was a setup for a win when I won the city council.
See, your blessings come in costumes. They look like setbacks, but they're really setups and show-ups. And the best example of that is Joseph, who was revered by his father, hated by his brothers, put in the pit. Reuben said, no, don't kill him, put him in the pit. Take him by caravan to Potiphar's house, give him charge over everything, but he decided not to take advantage of his wife. Wound up going to prison, interpreted the dream, wound up becoming the second in charge of Egypt, and the folks who put him in the pit had to come and beg for bread. So, you know, if God has a path, you know what? My granddaddy was a great biblical scholar. That's where I got my biblical scholarship from. And he would tell me from that text, because he always had these one-line expressions. I got it, man. The line of progress is never straight. It's not straight at all. And beneath our ups and downs is the providential hand of God. And I said, beneath? He said, yeah, because sometimes he got to pull you down before he puts you back up, because you get beside yourself. We got the time for break. Yes, sir. David's my time clock here over there. It's time, you know. We're going to take a break. Huh?
Dave gotta be good for something.
Yeah, he good for something, but right now I ain't gonna talk about it too bad because he got that sheriff's gun on his holster, and I don't want to get in no trouble. I shot the sheriff.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back after this.
It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, and the wake-up call.
Reverend Horace Sheffield is live, and it's the wake-up call on WVTC Radio Detroit.
Are you ready to unlock an exciting career in the skilled trades or pursue your dream of entrepreneurship? The Detroit Association of Black Organizations is proud to introduce a free skilled trades training program with job placement. Whether you're interested in welding, HVAC, mechatronics technology, construction trades, CDL, or entrepreneurship, we're ready to equip you with the tools and knowledge you need to succeed. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Call 313-491-0003 to learn more. That's 313-491-0003.
The soulful summer continues at the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater. Live in concert Friday, August 25th. And what we have Jeffrey Osborne. With special guest Stephanie Mills. Tickets on sale now. Available at thearetha.com. Also, the Aretha box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by The Right Productions.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri. We are living through unprecedented times. As a result, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund was created. This fund, administered by the state of Michigan, is designed to help homeowners cope with pandemic-related hardships, such as delinquent property taxes. Residents may apply for up to $25,000 to help cover 2019, 2020, and 2021 tax years. Previous year's taxes must be paid in full or in a payment agreement with the Treasurer's Office. Eligible homeowners must have a qualified financial hardship that occurred on or after January 21st, 2020. You must currently own and occupy your home as your primary residence and must have owned it since January 21st, 2020. To see if you qualify, please visit waynemetro.org, call 313-388-9799, or email taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.
Here's the thing about golf. If you like golf, you love golf. And if you love golf, you love it a lot. Like a lot. And when the weather is even the slightest bit accommodating, you grab your clubs and head to your Huron-Clinton Metro Parks. Because 7 regulation courses is a lot to love. Like a lot. They're your Metro Parks. Come to play and bring your clubs. Learn more at metroparks.com.
At the Detroit Water and Sewerage Department, we're working hard to protect pipes by cleaning public sewer lines to reduce flooding and speeding up the replacement of lead service lines. Protect your pipes with 3 easy tips. Pour grease into containers, toss wipes in the trash can, and check for running toilets, leaky pipes, and dripping faucets. For more tips, go to detroitmi.gov/protect pipes. DWSD, working hard to protect pipes for you.
Hi, I'm Stacy Reeves, General Supervisor for DTE. As part of our plan to make your power more reliable, we're installing new smart technology. When it's up and running, our smart grid will have fewer and shorter power interruptions. Our crews are out every day doing everything in their power to deliver the reliability you deserve. DTE.
From the cotton fields of Mississippi to the highest halls of education around the United States of America, Junebug is a story of inspiration that proves that hard work and perseverance is the answer to anyone's dreams and aspirations to make them come true. Go to MississippiJunebug.net and order your copy today. Junebug, the novel by Wilson Edward Reed.
It's for y'all. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, and the wake-up call.
Technical graduate, also University of Michigan graduate, Ross Business School, and she's just now out here talking about something she doesn't know. We know that actually when she was on city council, she brought some actual professionalism, and she actually did a great job writing this ship, which is why she was there, which actually parlayed her into the Michigan State of Representatives, where she represented us well too. And now she is back here offering us some support on on how to teach our dollars some sense. So again, let's put our hands together for her. And we're going to take our callers too. Give us a call here at 313-340-9507. You want to be a part of the conversation? That's 313-340-9507. And she's talking about the Candy Girl mentality for all of you who are watching us by way of our social media. This is her book right here, and you can get it. Is it on?
It's available directly through my website.
Okay.
So it's not on Amazon.
I didn't say that. I didn't want to say nothing.
Your lips started forming. I knew you were about to go there, but
Right,
no. And this is a lesson for everyone. And the reason why I self-published, number one.
That was my next question.
It is a quality book, is it not? For those of you who are holding it right now. And I wanted to be able to demonstrate how to have impact, how to leverage relationships, because know it or not, 75% or more of the revenues that I've earned from this book have come through personal relationships, whether it be personal or professional. And so that's why it's always good for us to be careful how we treat people, right? And to make sure that we're leaving them with a positive impression, so that years after you may have gone from that place of work or maybe a school, that when you pick up the phone or you reach out to them on social media, they feel good about answering. They feel good about responding. And so I pride myself in having done that because the people, when they do respond, they're enthusiastic about it. And they know that a success for Lisa is not just a success for Lisa. It's a success for all of us.
All right, Lisa is the people's CPA. She's the people's author, and she is the people's speaker. And I think too, a lot of times we don't consider that. We talk about burning bridges when we're in relationships and things of that nature. So the fact that that's important to you, and you everything good, and we when the president comes, I get all nervous. President Lockett comes. Again, making sure we don't burn bridges and that we keep our relationships in order and actually do business with integrity. And there's nothing that I recall that I could say, no scandal, no anything. And so you work to make sure that you keep your name clean. And I think that should be commended. All right, so go ahead and tell us some more about the book, or tell us some more about some things. You talked about working with children and going into the schools and things of that nature. How's that working out for you?
It's working out phenomenally well. You know, one of the first places that I went back to, in fact, my book launch was at Cass Tech. You know, so if you keep talking about it, you keep going to the kids. But I want people to know, here's what I want people to know overall, because though I talk about the children, that is the mission of the book, right? To be able to pass these lessons on to them. But this book is for everyone, right? I gave you the fact that if you have a pain area in your life, that there is an answer included in this book. But the overarching theme of the book, as Reverend Sheffield talked about setbacks, it's about pursuing purpose, right? And many of us don't know why we're here, but the moment that you discover why you're here, you can become unstoppable. And the way that life happens is you're in pursuit of purpose, but life has a way of throwing you a curveball that you didn't see coming in the form of a setback or a major disappointment. And so what my book does is it teaches you how to bounce back with strength, courage, and wisdom. And that's how the book is divided in 3 sections: strength, courage, and wisdom. One being the foundation of who you are, getting back to the basics, revisiting some of those things in my past that I frankly hadn't thought about in a very long time. And then having the courage to move forward, right? When you know who you are and whose you are, then you start to step forward in courage and do things that some people would tell you is not possible. But you have to know to defy the odds and not listen to the naysayers and do it anyway. And then when you reach that pinnacle of success, again, it's not meant for you to stand there on the mountaintop, but the whole idea for me is to reach down and help pull somebody else up. And so that's the wisdom part of the book. And so I get excited talking about this.
So we've talked about all of the wonderful things that you've done, the flowery bed of success that you had. I'm reading the back of the book. It's talking about some things that were drenched in transparency. If you would like to share a transparent moment, we talk about overcoming obstacles or overcoming things. Talk about some of the, maybe, I don't want to call them dark, but some of the teachable moments, the development moments that you might have had in the process.
Yeah, I love this question because people sometimes take us for face value, or they take us for what you may have seen in the news. Lisa has done all these incredible things. She went to Cass, she went to the University of Michigan, she ran for mayor here in the city of Detroit, served as a state rep. All of those are my successes, what I call the highlights. But we all have those low moments. And my story really begins when I was 8 years old. My family had been evicted from our home for the second time before I reached my 9th birthday. In that span of time, going from my auntie's house to my uncle's house, I had been in 5 elementary schools by 5th grade. If you were an educator, any educators in the audience? Okay, maybe you're listening at home and you're in education, and if you were to look at a young person's transcript and saw that they had been to 5 elementary schools by 5th grade, you'd say they were a troubled child. You'd say that they were least likely to succeed. But God had another plan for me.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and so when we finally got to our new neighborhood, there was a young lady who lived across the street from me. She had a lemonade stand. We were the same age. I bought lemonade for her. I said, well, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it too. But when I do it, I'm going to do it even better. So not only did I have the lemonade, I had popsicles, I had fresh popcorn, and penny candy, okay? I tell people at age 10, I was a meteorologist because I used to check the weather before I set out my stuff. Because if it was going to be 80 and sunny, I knew I was going to sell a lot. But if it was 60 and rainy, then not so much. And so the lesson in that is proximity matters, exposure matters. When you are exposed to entrepreneurship, it gives you that inkling that you can be an entrepreneur too, that you can own your own business and determine your destiny. And so that's what that negative experience taught me. And again, it's something that I hadn't thought about in years. But in writing this book, it allowed me to get in touch with my story. But what I realized, and as I get feedback from those who have read it, I'm really telling other people's stories as well and giving them an opportunity to see themselves through my eyes and what's possible for them.
All right, on the back of the book, yes. On the back of the book also says it's time to bounce back. We know that African Americans as a whole have been perceived as being a resilient people. That much more African American women personify resilience. So why don't you give me a resilient experience, or your life is probably a story of resilience, but just something that might stick out in your mind about resilience. And it might be somebody else that comes to mind that may have motivated you about resilience.
Absolutely. So when I think about this and where that whole thought of bouncing back came from, there's a chapter in the book called No Setback, Girl Bounce Back. All right. So like that right there is a clarion call. It's a chant that we could walk out of here saying, no setback, girl bounce back. No setback, girl bounce back. Come on. No setback, girl bounce back. And that goes for the men too. Like, I don't discriminate. But the fact of the matter is that there are some things that are perceived to be setbacks. I can recall when I was preparing to leave the mayor's office, and I had posted something online about that, and my auntie got word of it, okay? And she said, Lisa, what's this about you leaving the mayor's office? So this will help clear things up for people who wonder where I've been the last 5 years. She said, you gonna leave all that money behind? I said, Auntie, I'm actually gonna make more. She was like, all right now. So the point of the matter is what appears to be a setback is really a bounce back. And when you lean into that, knowing that whatever you trial or tribulation that you go to, it builds what? Patience, right? And when patience has done its perfect work, then you are ready to go to the next level. And fortunately for me, that's what's happened.
All right, we're talking with Lisa Howes, author and speaker and inspirational list. Excuse me, Ed, give us all this good information. We'll be back on the other side of this break to wrap it up. Yes, sir, Ed.
Well, I want to add something to.
I'm gonna get you when we come back. Ed, I'm gonna get you when we come back from this break. You come back. We'll start back with you. All right, we'll be right back. It's for y'all.
It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, and the Wake Up Call.
Reverend Horace Sheffield is live, and it's the Wake Up Call on WVTC Radio Detroit.
Peace and quiet. Whoever you are, sooner or later, you're going to need some. If only there was a beautiful place just minutes from where you live, where you'll find a perfect little piece of peace and quiet. Turns out there is. Your Huron-Clinton Metro Parks. With 25,000 acres, there's plenty of peace and quiet to go around. They're your Metro Parks. Come see what all the noise is about. Learn more at metroparks.com.
Hi, I'm Stacy Reeves, General Supervisor for DTE. As part of our plan to make your power more reliable, we're installing new smart technology. When it's up and running, our smart grid will have fewer and shorter power interruptions. Our crews are out every day doing everything in their power to deliver the reliability you deserve. DTE.
The soulful summer continues at the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater. Live in concert Friday, August 25th. And what we have Jeffrey Osborne. With special guest Stephanie Mills. Tickets on sale now. Available at thearetha.com. Also, the Aretha box office and Ticketmaster.com. Presented by The Right Productions.
Are you ready to unlock an exciting career in the skilled trades or pursue your dream of entrepreneurship? The Detroit Association of Black Organizations is proud to introduce a free skilled trades training program with job placement. Whether you're interested in welding, HVAC, mechatronics technology, construction trades, CDL, or entrepreneurship, we're ready to equip you with the tools and knowledge you need to succeed. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Call 313-491-0003 to learn more. That's 313-491-0003.
Treasurer Eric Sabri, we are living through unprecedented times. As a result, the Michigan Homeowner Assistance Fund was created. This fund, administered by the state of Michigan, is designed to help homeowners cope with pandemic-related hardships, such as delinquent property taxes. Residents may apply for up to $25,000 to help cover 2019, 2020, and 2021 tax years. Previous year's taxes must be paid in full or in a payment agreement with the Treasurer's office. Eligible homeowners must have a qualified financial hardship that occurred on or after January 21st, 2020. You must currently own and occupy your home as your primary residence and must have owned it since January 21st, 2020. To see if you qualify, please visit waynemetro.org, call 313-388-9799, or email taxinfo@waynecounty.com. We're here to help.
The Detroit Water and Sewerage Department is looking for motivated Detroiters to be a part of our team. We have opportunities for field services technicians, engineers, and customer service specialists with competitive pay and benefits. Make a real difference with the work you do every day. Join other Detroiters who are taking part protecting the pipes where we live, work, and play. Learn more and apply at detroitmi.gov/jobs. DWSD, working hard for you.
From the cotton fields of Mississippi to the highest halls of education around the United States of America, Junebug is a story of inspiration that proves that hard work and perseverance is the answer to anyone's dreams and aspirations to make them come true. Go to MississippiJunebug.net and order your copy today. Junebug, the novel by Wilson Edward Reed.
It's for y'all. It's for y'all, Reverend Horace Sheffield, and the Wake Up Call.
And you will have people in your life that not do it. and they haven't tried it themselves. So don't let anyone get you off your square or chase you away from your dreams and your desires by taking advice from someone who doesn't know anything about it. They just have an opinion.
Thank you for that you are absolutely correct. So I do not take advice from people who aren't living the lifestyle that I want to have.
All right, so before we went to break, we were talking about story resilience or resilient experience that you might want to share or give us an example of that.
Yeah, so I was talking about the eviction situation.
Okay.
I talked about, running for elected office, not winning the first time. From a professional standpoint, I'm a CPA by training, but it didn't happen overnight. I took the exam the first time. I passed one part, failed the other three. Took it the second time, passed a different part, failed the part that I passed, and failed the other two parts. And at that point, I wanted to give up. In fact, I balled up the results, threw them to the ground, and said, I'm never taking this test again. But imagine if I had stayed there in that space of defeat. Imagine if I had never pursued taking the test that third time and the fourth time when I passed it all. Then I never would have been able to say in 2009 that I'm the only certified public accountant running for Detroit City Council. If I had never said that I was the only CPA running for Detroit City Council, then I never would have run for state rep. And if I hadn't run for state rep, I would not have been able to bring that same message to the mayor's office. If I had never been in the mayor's office, I never would have been seen by Davenport University, who hired me to come lead their expansion in the city of Detroit. If they had not released me due to the restructuring because of the pandemic, then I never would have written this book. And so, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, no setback, girl, bounce back.
All right.
I think it's inspiring, again, to have anyone, by saying a lot of times we say by having an African American, we minimize your effectiveness or anything like that. But the fact of the matter is, knowing that there is someone like us, that looks like us, that represents us, that comes from us, adds another level of inspiration and motivation to what it is that we're trying to do. How do we convey this message to young people in this particular culture and climate? A lot of times they're in this microwave society, they don't want to wait. If they are not successful the first time, they want to throw it away and do the total opposite of what you did. So how do we teach stick-to-itiveness? How do we teach discipline? How do we teach, and a lot of things we believe are innate, but how do we teach people how to overcome? I mean, you got people who have had two parents in the household, who have had, both parents educated, and they still end up doing opposite things. Then you got people who may have not had a traditional, or whatever we want to define traditional as, and then they, they're say they have traumatic experiences, and a lot of it is situational depression,
sure,
and not necessarily diagnosed as clinical depression, making bad decisions, and stuff like that. So I mean, and I know it's a lot on it, but it seems like you have an answer, or at least some sort of link to a resource in your book. Was that a lot?
No, I totally get it. So it sounds like a complex question, but really it's a simple answer. It is one, we gotta be for these young people, we gotta show them, right? You cannot be what you cannot see. And so exposure is so important. I mean, for me to become a CPA, I didn't just pull that out of the air. Someone came to my school and said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And the classmate said a CPA. And I said, that sounds good to me. I think I want to become one too. And so really to teach those different principles, to get through to our kids, the first thing we have to do is meet them where they are, right? I think a lot of times we can come in, and I've done this in the past, come in and say, look at me, look at what I've done. You can do it too. And their kids looking at me like, yeah, right, but I didn't eat last night. And I don't know where I'm gonna sleep tomorrow. You know what I mean? I don't know where my mom is. She's been gone for the last 3 days. So when you know and recognize that these are some realities that our young people are living, when you can see them for who they really are, then they can in turn see you for where they can become, that's where we bridge that gap. And that's why I'm doing this work.
Good. Okay, let's put our hands together again for our guests. One of wonderful information. And again, when you see and deal with the young people in high schools or middle schools, even in elementary schools, who are experiencing exactly what she said. We have to put ourselves in a situation to feel their pain. A lot of times we want to say that, well, I went through this and I went through that, but we don't know what these children are going through. We can't have a cookie cutter approach toward finding resolution for these young people. We have to look at them as individuals and provide services and linkages to resources as such, okay? How's that sound? With that being said, that's what we're trying to do over here at Davo. And by way of announcement before we get out of here, we do have the WAVE project that starts on this Monday. It's going to be every Monday on the 14th, 21st, 28th of this month. And we'll be giving free showers to the homeless in our community and those who need to have showers. And we will have some gently used clothes or some clothes that might be available at that time too. Don't forget about our community empowerment series that we're having every month. Next month will be September 27th. We'll have Dr. Courtney West will be our guest. In October, we have Erica Alexander. In November, we have Keith Ellison. And in December, to wrap up the year, we have Dr. Jamal Bryant. Also, as it relates to resources we have here, we have our skilled trades program that we're collaborating with Wayne County Community College District. You can get information here at Daywood. You can give us a call at 313-491-0004. That's 313-491-0004. Ask for Aaron Truitt. He's the coordinator for that particular effort. If you have any other questions, some of the other staff may be able to help you. You can come up here Tuesdays or Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tuesdays or Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We had great representation talking about that program earlier on the show. For any more information regarding these announcements or the programs that we have, give us a call here at 313-491-0003, or you can stop by 12048 Grand River right here on the corner of Wyoming and come in and see us. We're here from 9 to 4. Is that right, Sister Harris? 9 to 5. We're here from 9 to 5. Don't come here at 4:59 though, trying to get on this kid. We'll be here to help you and give you the assistance that you need. We got our seniors on Wednesdays. From what time? Mondays and Wednesdays from 11 to 1. You can come in and get your chair aerobics on, get your hustle on, get your exercise on, get your fellowship on, get your grub on, and all that. But we're still here doing good in our neighborhoods, and we'll see you on next week. I got 2 more minutes. All right, I got 2 more minutes. I'm talking 2 more minutes. So we also offer our Question, Persuade, Refer, which is our suicide prevention program. If you call up here and put your name on the list, we're trying to get a class here. We had one last Wednesday, I believe at 11 o'clock with some young people talking about suicide prevention. Suicide prevention has decreased in other communities. It has increased exponentially in our community, African Americans. It has gone up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a quote, 300%. 300%, not 30, not 3, 300. And that's affecting our young people the most. Ages 13 to 19 years old. It could be bullying, it could be a myriad of other concerns, it could be mental health concerns, whatever it may be, but we are trying to curb that by offering this class where you can talk to somebody or you can know what to say when somebody comes to you and tells you that they're contemplating suicide. Instead of you shrugging your shoulders or walking out quietly, you can actually link them to some resources and go from there. So we have a myriad of things that we're offering here. We got our blood pressure programs going on. We have Premier Healthcare here with our nurse practitioner. If you need some health care, absolutely free. You can come here, get services there. We'll refer you to a primary care physician. Those of you who are aware of what we do here, we know that there's only one primary care physician per 6,000 people in the city of Detroit. 1 per 6,000. So again, we need to make sure that we are making sure that our folks are getting to the hospital, we get them to the care that they need. Blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, all that stuff can affect our lifestyle. Amen? So we want to make sure we get the help that they need. How am I looking? All right, we'll see y'all next week. Have a good one. Thanks for coming. We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.
It's time for the wake-up call, y'all. Come on.
You've been listening to The Wake Up Call with Reverend Horace Sheffield and friends. Tune in again next week from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on the WVTC Detroit Radio Network.
He's on the line. This is knowledge and power for every mankind. For every generation that's in these streets. We making sure you ain't walking in your sleep. We're in your town, your city and community, promoting good health, wealth, and unity. We educating everybody, y'all. Reverend Horace Sheffield, the wake-up call. It's for y'all. It's for y'all. Reverend Horace Sheffield, the wake-up call. It's for y'all. It's for y'all. Reverend Horace Sheffield, and the wake-up call.
The views and opinions expressed on the previous broadcast are those of the authors and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of WVTC Radio Detroit, its advertisers, or affiliates.
Congratulations to WVTC Gospel Radio, as they are again the recipients of the 2023 Stella Award for Best Internet Radio Station of the Year. Many thanks to our viewers. Keep watching as we are winning victories through Christ. Here's just one of the fine programs right here on WVTC Detroit. Hey, are you in need of a jingle, a commercial, or have you considered a podcast for your business or ministry? If so, let WVTC Radio Detroit be your choice. And guess what? Location is not a problem. We can pick you up and broadcast you from anywhere. For more information, please go to our website at WVTCDetroit.com or drop us an email at WVTCRadioDetroit@gmail.com. We're waiting to hear from you. Here's just one of the fine programs right here on WVTC Detroit. The end of COVID-19 is near.
That's right. Everyone in the community's been doing their part to stay safe, and we're finally seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
That doesn't mean that we can let our guard down just yet. We still need to be vigilant and follow the guidelines of the health officials.
Yes, continue to wear your mask, practice good hygiene, and get vaccinated if you haven't already.
Let's focus on the positive. We can finally start planning those trips, family reunions, and events we've all been dreaming of.
We can finally hug our loved ones without fear and enjoy all the things we took for granted before.
So let's celebrate, but do it safely. Let's keep our communities healthy and thriving.
We're here reminding you to keep the faith, stay safe, and let's get ready to live our best lives.
Here's just one of the fine programs right here on WVTC Detroit.
You're listening to WVTC Gospel Radio Detroit, and we're flowing in the Spirit.